are the head of Sky Sports Boxing, correct?
That's right, head of boxing for Sky Sports, yeah.
Okay, so can you basically define to fans who wouldn't know what Sky Sports is over here in the States? So, for example, just to give you a little information, we compare Sky Sports to our ESPN over here, and I'm not trying to throw any shade, but would BT Sport be along the line of Fox Sports, CBS? Like, in regards to secondary?
I could talk about Sky. I've been at Sky for 25 years. We're a huge company. We have a huge amount of sporting rights. Football is soccer is obviously our bread and butter. The Premier League, which we've had for many years now, is the mainstay for Sky. But of course we invest heavily in many other sports. Golf hugely, cricket. Formula One, big-time boxing events. We've got rugby league. We've got many women's sports coming through, like netball, and we've got the Irish sports and GAA. We have all sorts of different things we've had over the years: rugby, tennis. Yeah, I mean, Sky Sports is the home of sport in Britain, and as far as boxing goes, it's been the home of boxing for many years. We've never played with boxing. We've been in it through thick and thin. I started in 1994. We'd already had some Lennox Lewis fights. We already had a bit of a deal with Matchroom actually, and Chris Eubank, and then through the course of the last 25 years, we have shown most of the biggest fights and nights globally across our network on Sky Sports or on Sky Sports Box Office. That's our pay-per-view arm, and Anthony Joshua fights on Box Office now. We look very carefully at what goes on Box Office. But my role is to look at the strategy of boxing on Sky Sports. We also have a 24/7 news service, Sky Sports News, which is, I guess, the ESPN link. We've also just been taken over by Comcast, so we're now brother and sister with NBC and Universal. So yeah, and we have obviously SkySports.com is huge digital. We've got big digital, social, and linear programs. Many channels. We've got football channels, golf channels, Formula One channels. So there's a lot going on back home at Sky as well as just boxing. But yeah, boxing's a big part of it.
So I heard you talking to Ness from the Boxing Voice about Joshua versus Miller. What I want to ask you is, how do you rate Big Baby Miller as a fighter? And when you compare him as a fighter to the way Alexander Povetkin had fought, especially those first couple of rounds where AJ was kind of not fighting his height and was allowing Povetkin to hit him with some shots until he corrected it. So do you think that Big Baby Miller, Povetkin, he has an excellent amateur background, but what can Big Baby Miller bring to the table that you think that can possibly upset Anthony Joshua?
Well, he's going to bring a lot of noise. That's the first
yeah, it's
thing.
Coming.
A lot of hype, a lot of noise. And we worked with Jarrell for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm very fond of him. He's a real character, a real personality. Yes, you're right. He hasn't got the amateur background, the kickboxing background. He has not the Povetkin brilliant amateur and Olympic pedigree, which obviously counts for a great deal, which is why a lot of people think Jarrell Miller is a big underdog in this fight. And I can understand that. But listen, he's undefeated. He's got fast hands. He's got stamina. He's had decent wins, not on the level of Joshua wins, and this is a step up for him. But an unbeaten fighter is a dangerous fighter. He's from Brooklyn. He's from Bed-Stuy. He's a lot of fighters have come from that area. The Bows, the Tysons. He's got a major chance here, fighting for the world heavyweight title on June the 1st. And things can happen. Funny things can happen. But what does he bring to the table? He brings some hand speed. He brings a little bit of power. He brings stamina, and he brings heat. But whether that will be good enough to beat Anthony Joshua, I don't know.
Okay, final question. Anthony Joshua right now, he's unified. So technically by, he is the ASAP.
Yeah.
In regards to opponents fought.
Of course.
Tickets sold, revenue, et cetera, et cetera. But now with these
he's one of the biggest sporting stars in Britain, full stop, in any sport. And he's certainly, by far, the biggest boxing star back home. I think he will become the biggest boxing star here globally, and that's bigger than Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, because I think he's got everything. He's got the likability factor. He looks great. He's very personable, and he's very exciting to watch as well in the ring. So I think what he brings is something that the whole family like. It's not just the hardcore fight fans. the mums like him, the wives like him, the kids like him. He attracts a lot, and I think that America will really warm to Anthony Joshua when he's up and running it.
So would it be in his best interest to base himself in the United States? For example, the fight's not until June the 1st. Would you think that it would be, from a marketing standpoint, for him to get here in the States, let's say, move here next week or sometime in the beginning of March, and then start getting out to New York monuments and things like that?
I think it's first and foremost he's got to train for a fight, and
Gleason's gym.
And Anthony Joshua will make sure that he trains absolutely 100% for this. Now, every training camp has been back home, obviously in Sheffield with Robert McCracken, and they'll start that in Sheffield. I'm sure they'll come to America to get acclimatised to the jet lag, the difference. But he'll do a lot of media work this week, and I think he'll do a lot of media work, obviously, nearer the fight. But I think the most important thing is the training camps for Anthony Joshua. So I expect him to come out a few weeks early, set up here, which will be new for AJ. But yeah, the most important thing is that he prepares diligently like he has. And yeah, there'll be time for press and publicity, but it's got to be like now, and it's got to be nearer the fight.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right, thank you. Do what you do.
No problem at all.